Hi there. So today you have another welcome to our lives kind of episode where it's just myself and Natalie, and we talk a little bit more about our lives, what's happening. As you know, I'm on the road in my van traveling through Spain, and oh my gosh, the last couple of weeks have been incredible. Like the spots I've had the privilege to park, the lifestyle that I really truly get to live, it's been awesome. And Natalie, I know that you're really making some exciting steps towards your move to South Africa.
Yes, we have made a few steps. The visa is in process and that is happening. And we've taken everything out of our attic and dumped it in our lounge. So we look like we're living in I don't know, a yard sale, but we trying to work out what to keep, what to get rid of. But one of the things that has been really interesting for me is the nostalgia or the melancholy that comes with, do I keep it? Do we sell it? Do we give it away? Or it's like, oh no, I want to keep it. And it's like, can we justify shipping it to South Africa and will we have place to store it? So that's been a very interesting process. And I've noticed the emotion that
Mm.
has really come with going through that process. The emotions of just having to let go, having to let go of memories, having to let go of stuff. So it's not just the physical thing that you are letting go of, but it's all the emotion that attaches to it. And it's been very interesting for me. And my poor husband, bless his cotton socks, that he is so laid back because he has been barked at a few times. He's been, watching me going through this roller coaster because this at the moment is mostly my stuff. We haven't hit the shed yet. I think that's when it's going to be his turn. And I just hope he's not as emotional as I am. But the thing is, it's been very interesting and it's dredged up a lot of memories, it's dredged up emotions, and as some of our listeners will know, and as you know, Lenka, I don't do emotions and you know digging too deep, and it's forcing me to do that, which is a good thing because it's something that I'm wanting to work on. So it has been, we haven't hit the dramatic yet, but it's more the melancholic and nostalgic for, if we stayed here, we could keep this. So it's just hanging on to stuff. And Lenka, you are such a minimalist. And here I come with my attic full of stuff that some of it I've shipped from South Africa here 26 years ago. And I'm taking it back with me. So,
No, it's
yeah,
just no.
Lenka doesn't do stuff.
No, I was the moment you started, I was like, yeah, I've been there, I've been through it, but we're definitely very different kind of people from this aspect. Because even obviously I had to downsize a lot to what I'm taking with me on the journey in the van. And the whole journey I'm on, I'm like, I have overpacked. I have way too many things. I don't need these things. I can't wait to go back to Czech Republic because I don't want to be dealing with it on the road. I know a couple good shelters. I know a couple good places that would take lots of my clothes and stuff. One of them is the cat cafe that I've adopted my cat from. They, on a regular basis, they do thrift store, so they collect free stuff from people if it's in a good condition, and then they sell it to make money for kitties. So often I use that as a good opportunity to declutter. And literally, I have two more bags of clothes here that I have not touched and I have not needed. And I have one small bag that, like, if every couple of weeks I can wash the laundry, that's all I need. Like, that's all I need is, this little bag of clothes called couple pairs of leggings and t-shirts. So yeah, you're talking about, the emotion of decluttering and this sentiment. And for me, it's really the letting go. It's the excitement of creating more space and having less and worrying less about stuff and really just enjoying the presence of the moment of the experiences that I have in life, that the minimalism, that not buying stuff, not carrying things around stuff, not also it's for me to not worry about the condition of the stuff. I do think that it's a big thing for accumulation. It's also we didn't worry about will we scratch it, will we break it, if we use it, will it be worn out? And for me, it's like, well, I will wear the clothes until they fall apart if I like them. And if I don't wear clothes for more than a year, then I'm like, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. So if I have not had the need to use something for about a year and I'm going through this process, I'm like, you're going away. And I'm very happy to be like, in 2 years' time, I might be buying the same thing again. But I'm more than happy to be like, you know what? I don't need it right now. Why it should be sitting in my closet? And I'm not the one to do vintage. I'm not the one to like try to sell it off. I'm like, it would take so much of my time and energy. Then I'm like, is there anyone who wants it for free? Just here, it's just you deal with it. It's why I love this shelter. I can give them all my shit and they're happy about it and they deal with it. So it's interesting to listen to a different perspective on decluttering.
I mean, I've done a declutter last year, especially with the wardrobe, and here in the UK, they do things over the summer called car boot sales, and that's a great way. You just fill your car up with stuff. You turn up at a ridiculous time in the morning, and you just literally it's car boots and everybody. So we were going to try and get rid of as much there, just because we want the money for South Africa. I've been quite lucky. Is a colleague where I work has moved house and it's his first house, so he's bought a few bits off us. But one thing that I do know is books. Books are coming with me, and my bookshelves are coming with me because they can all be flat packed. So at least, they can be all sorted. But yeah, and I have been, I'll confess, on Amazon and I have bought a few more books. They're not novels, but I do love when it's a book that from like Greg Braden or Gabor Mate or our favorite authors. I want to have the book. I don't want to have it on Kindle. I don't mind a novel to have that on Kindle. That's great, but I do like. So I am treating myself to books because in South Africa, Amazon is not like it is here in Europe. So it's not going to be as easy for me to get books. There's some amazing secondhand bookstores, but I'm just thinking, well, if I can get it here, I'll ship it. So that's been sort of what I've been dealing with. It's the emotion. It's yeah, waking up at night with the most random things going through my mind about how I'm going to do things. And I just say, well, that's like a July problem. That's an August problem. That's a that problem. Can I go back to sleep now? It doesn't always work. But yeah, it's been a really interesting experience. And of course, in our next conversation, hopefully more stuff has happened within myself, emotionally, physically in the house and with the visa. But it has been, I am really pleased to be doing this with somebody, because when I moved to South Africa, it was me doing it myself. And it is nice to have somebody, part of this journey. So yeah, but there's also doubt. Are we doing the right thing? And that does sometimes play up. And this again is nice when you've got a partner who's with you, because I say to my husband, are we really doing the right thing? And he's like, yes, think of the sunshine. It's like, okay, I've got it. But yeah, so it's been really a good experience, and I'm excited to share more experiences as I go through them. But I just want to say, just decluttering and decluttering to move country are two totally different things. And
Oh
I
yeah.
call it decluttering on steroids because that's literally what it feels like. I know I've spoken quite a bit about what I'm going through and what I'm dealing with. So, Lenka, I would love for you to share some of your experiences, and not just the beautiful views and the beautiful countryside. We all know Spain is beautiful, but some of the pet peeves or some of the things that have just driven you nuts, or some of the experiences you had other than beautiful countryside or nice weather?
Yeah. So definitely, oh my gosh, Spain is beautiful. I really did not realize how beautiful Spain, the mountains it is. And yeah, for January, February, the weather has been perfection. Being on the road, there are a few things that, you start realizing. So the way I drive around, I try to park as much as I can in free park ups to find free caravan parks, there's great facilities all around Spain built for us. But there is a subgroup of motorhome owners that has been a little bit on my nerve. Um, it's two There are two types of car plates that I'm now looking for. If you have D on it or NL, so Dutch and Danish, retired couples with often quite luxurious, sometimes almost like a minibus, hogging electricity, overstaying the allowed 48 hours, 72 hours place, not always being like the friendliest ones or all willing to like chat or anything. That's been, and I'm part of Facebook groups and stuff, and that seems to be like the feeling of a lot of people. And that we have the same thoughts towards people. I'm surprised that they don't do solar much because, if it's sun and out there, you can do so much. You can get so much electricity. You can get so much power. And all they do is just they sit in their vans watching TV. They have satellite dish up and you can see inside of the motorhome. And they're just watching their TV, not exploring the locations, not hanging out with the locals. And for me, that's just been grinding my gears a little bit. Um, yeah.
It's a little bit like you go to these hotels, these resorts, and the Germans always the we are very much generalizing. I'm sure not all the Danes, all the Germans, or all the Dutch are like this, but the joke is you got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and to get a sun lounger because by 6 o'clock all the Germans are out there. They put their towels on and they've hogged the sun loungers, and it's like it's this cliche, but when you talk about these travelers, I was just thinking, yeah, you go to these holiday resorts and it's the Germans who hog the sun lounges.
And speaking of stereotypes, we know that Spain is the go-to location, or used to be the go-to for lots of British people. And I've stumbled across a couple of these resort towns. Definitely feel like, oh, this is a place where British people go to retire. Because I enter every cafe, every place in Spain with trying to speak Spanish, with, practicing my Spanish and really trying to eat locally, live locally, support locally. And I have a couple of these places where I enter and I immediately see full English breakfast, fish and chips. The waitress speaks better English than I speak Spanish, which is not that hard, but she speaks with, and you have so many, again, most often retired couples just living their, happy life. Like I'm happy for them, but there's something about like still having to have all of your comforts and having your full English breakfast and speaking English. And for me, the language. I think the language is the one thing that I don't know, there's something about language is part of the culture. There's so much within language that tells you about the people, about the traditions, about the history, that it's so important to me. It's so important to learn and observe and try to blend in compared to then when you see, and again, generalization, but lots of, yeah, Dutch, Danish, French, English, they're just, either, oh, I had so many just Dutch and Danish people trying to speak German to me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like, we're in Spain. I'm happy to try Spanish with you. Happy to, with anyone, I will try Spanish. If not, I will switch to English. And then I'm like, so sorry, what? Like, you want me to speak German to you in Spain? Nope.
Well, I mean, the English are famous for not wanting to speak a foreign language, not wanting to try foreign food. I mean, the amount of times, like you said, you go anywhere and it's actually embarrassing to say that you're from England because they just expect you to be a obtuse drunk and just not trying to embrace the culture and expecting your full English breakfast in Spain. I mean, why would you want a full English breakfast in Spain? You've got beautiful food in Spain. They want their English comforts, and everybody has to speak English. And it's like, well, that's just rude. You go to a foreign country, at least greet in the language. You might not be able to speak the language, but learn to say hello, learn to say please and thank you, learn to say goodbye, just learn the basics and make a bit of an effort and try their food. It doesn't mean you might not like everything, but there's no harm in trying it. And the English are known for just wanting to bring England with them wherever they go. And it's like, but why? Just learn to speak another language. It's difficult. It is difficult. And I do really appreciate that most of the world speaks English. I do. But the thing is, I will try things that are on the on menus, except for frog legs. I do put my foot down on frog legs. But I'm happy to go to Spain. I'm just thinking of all the beautiful wine they've got, paella, and just the way they cook their food and the spices. Why not try it? Why have boring English food? It's not like the English are known for brilliant cuisine like the French and the Greeks and the Spanish. Their food is boring and bland. And we are very much generalizing here.
Yes. Well, there are a lot of interesting topics coming in my mind, but I think let's leave it at this for today. Let's leave this episode to be a little bit complainy. And in next episode, I have a couple more of Spanish observations. I think there's quite a few things that I've observed that the Spanish do, which is so interesting to really, as we speak about, to be more immersed in their lives and observing them. I've just a few things that just make me tickle.
Well, I mean, I look forward to hearing about what makes you tickle. I mean, I just love the way you said that. But yeah, I think it's a great idea to just leave off here. We are in the middle of journeying, Lenka, literally journeying in a van. And for me, it is much more the emotional and just a journey of eventually moving. But as you said, it is we've chatted a little bit. We've given a taste of what we are experiencing right now. And of course, we will be back. We will be back with more. But before we go, please do hit like, subscribe, hit that notification button, share. We would love for you to just share our podcasts, our episodes with friends, family, and just help us to grow and grow and just, yes, just hit those buttons. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.